Hey guys, I thought I introduced myself first. This is kind of, I have a few videos already on this page here, but I've never introduced myself, and maybe a few videos. I didn't really know what I was going to do yet with this page, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 50 years old. I've been painting since I've been 16. I've studied all the great masters. I've always painted in oil paints, and watercolor. Those were my mediums of choice. I also work from charcoal. If you're an artist, you should be playing around with all mediums. Soft pastels, oil pastels, charcoal. When you study and you go to school, like I did, like the art student league, you would learn how to use all type of mediums: graphite, pen, watercolor, everything. You would have a preferred medium that you would prefer to work in. My preferred medium was oil. But just recently I've gotten into I've always worked with watercolor, but I've never really took it serious like I have been lately. I've been really trying to get really good at it, and I've been at it for a few years now, and I've accumulated a lot of stuff, so I know what works and what doesn't work, and what might work for me might not work for you. That's how this thing is when it comes to painting. Some artists will tell you don't use black because it muddies their colors, but that might not work for you. You might work with black and you might not have no issues with it. What I kind of think is, because what might not work for one person doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. All the great masters use black. So when I used to hear this, I was dumbfounded. I was like, how can you not use black? In school I was taught that black was shadow. So I was kind of taken back from that. And I think that's something that an artist that hasn't really mastered how to use black would say that. Like, let's say if I was to tell you don't use red, you'd be like, what, don't use red? Are you kidding me? So, black is no different than red. So, red can do the same thing. It could redden everything up, make all your colors more red. Black can make things more darker, more dirtier. Look dirtier if you don't know what you're doing. Sargent had to have black. So when I listen to different artists online on YouTube that come on and they took a little class on color, and they heard their teacher come out, don't use black, and they come out and you can tell, by their work and how old they are, you can tell that they haven't been doing art very long. So, like some people believe you should use cool colors in the back to receive things and warm colors close. It doesn't have to be that way. We learn that anything can be done however you want to do it. You see, there's no exact way of doing anything when it comes to art. This is your drawing. You do what you want to do and how you want to do it and how you want to express yourself. No one can tell you how to express yourself. No one. Period. This is your canvas, your piece of paper. This is your place where you express yourself. You're not trying to express how they paint, how they work. They have their way of painting and their way of doing things. And the way you might make a tree will look completely different compared to their tree. So just because a person, you see a person that does this perfect painting and it looks identical like a photo, doesn't mean that you're no better than he is, or no less of a better artist than me. You see? I mean, we've learned that a lot of great artists from the past, a lot of them didn't have much school. Look at Van Gogh, self-taught artist, became one of the greatest painters of all time. So don't be intimidated by anyone. This is your paper, and it's your world, and you can make it anything you want to make it. You want to express it how you want to express it. Okay, so let's go. Moving on from that now. I want to talk about palettes. Well, I'll be getting into different palettes later on, but I'll talk about these palettes here. Metal palettes by Holbein. This one here. Where you put your paint out. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 spots, little wells where you can put your paint. You can also take your little pans that they have for watercolor and take a magnet and with a glue gun stick a magnet and that way you can get more places to put your paint. Or you can get a bigger one. You can get one that these wells come up all the way up to here. Now this is the 350. You have the 250, the 350, the 500, and I think that's it. I don't know if they might have another one, but maybe they do. But this is what I know. I know they have a 250, a 350, and a 500. Now the 250 might be a little too small for me. It might be good for you. It's a little smaller than this one. The 500 will be about this size. So you can see the difference in size. So there's a big difference in size. Let's measure this so you can see what I mean. This is a tape measure here, and well, this is 10 inches. The 500, 10 inches. So it's 10 inches by 4.5 inches. So it's 10 by 4. And then the 350 is, let's go a long way, it's 8.5 by 4. So it's 8.5 by 4. Now I picked the 350 because I like the size. It's a good size and it's well made, and that's the reason why I purchased the Holbein, because it's a very well made palette. Now this one here was one of those cheap ones that you can get on Amazon or in your art store. Cost you about $20, and they're made from aluminum. Now I've read that Holbein also is making aluminum palettes like these. I don't know how true it is though, but I've seen them on Amazon. I never purchased one, but I read that they state they selling a palette and they state that it's aluminum. Some people might prefer aluminum because it might be lighter compared to metal. Now this is the aluminum one, and when I purchased the aluminum one, I didn't really like it too much. It feels, cheap. It doesn't feel like it's really well made. I mean, it was kind of, it wouldn't close right. This part will go over this part. It wouldn't seal right. So when I got it, I kind of, it looked okay from the images that I saw online, but when I got it, it was a whole different. I used it. I mean, and I still have it, but I mean, it's okay. It's not. I mean, if you can only afford to get this, then fine. I still use this. It's not all that bad. I mean, but compared to this one, there's a difference between aluminum and metal. Now the metal one is, you can tell, is very well made. Has these little corner pieces here that prevents it from shutting completely, where this part, it's gonna completely go over this part, where it's gonna not seal right, it's not gonna close right, and these little things prevent that from happening. It's also made out of metal. The hinges are very well made, and the finish that's on this is very well done. So this is going to last for many years compared to this one that doesn't have those corner things, those corner pieces. And the corner pieces are to prevent it when it closes, when it seals here. Those corner pieces will prevent from this part here going too far in and where it's not going to seal right. But like I said, I kind of, after a while of having it for so long, I kind of got to liking it, where I can use it now. So it's not as good as this one, but it's not as bad as, I mean, well, this is not that bad either. This is plastic. This is going to last longer. It's not metal. It's plastic, and it's okay. This one even has an area to put your brushes like that. So that's kind of cool. Let me set the camera back. They're very nice, and they cost less than these metal ones, and they won't rust, and they're very good. I mean, I like them. You can get a couple of these, I think less than $10. It has more slots. It has deep bays where you can put a lot of water, make a nice good amount of water paint. Very nice. This one doesn't have that. This one has these little wells here are very low, where you're not going to be able to mix a lot of paint like you'll be able to mix here. But this is nice, and you can, let me get another one I have there. Now this is another one I have that was my son's, and he went and put acrylic paint on it and got it all looking pretty ugly now, but this is the same thing, just a little smaller, different company. This one has different style to it. Even the plastic is different. This plastic is like a little more harder. This one feels a little bit more softer, like more rubber, like softer type of plastic. This feels like hard plastic, but they work the same. And it has deep wells, but this one has, I kind of like, it has that little where it slants down. If you notice here in the well, it comes straight, then it sinks in. That way your paint doesn't stay in the puddle of water. You can keep some paint up here, and you can keep some more wet paint down here. I kind of like that. This one doesn't have that. So when you mix paint, let me show you as an example. Like if you mix paint right here, it's all going to be like that. The paint is going to be all in that puddle there. Here, if you mix paint here, let's get some color here. Let's grab some of this. You see it can pour, and you can keep a nice puddle in here. Like that. And you can keep some paint up here with less water. So I kind of like that. Then I also like that you got your brushes. It has a lot of spots, a lot of places where you can put your paint. It has deep wells, a lot of area for paint. These plastics are not too bad. I really like these. I'm probably gonna get me a couple of them. Because I mean, when you do watercolor, you might have one palette for landscapes, one for portraits, different colors. So if you're gonna go outdoors, you might have a palette that's already prepared with the colors for when you go out there. You're ready. So yeah, bring it and leave it there. Put it right there. Yeah, bring some soda. Yeah. So that's the good thing about having these different type of palettes. Excuse me. So but they're nice. They're nice. You can have one for gouache, one for watercolor, one for casein, like that. So these palettes are very nice, and these are, I'll be talking later on about some different type of palettes, but these are these type of palettes that fold. Next time we'll talk about these type of palettes and the difference of studio palettes that you keep in your studio. These are not the type you would want to go outdoors, and you could, because they have the top where you can close them and put them in your bag, but they're made more for the studio, and the covers to keep dust from getting in your paint. So these are the palettes I use. I have a lot more palettes that I own, but these are the ones I like. I enjoy using them, and later on we'll go on talking about paints and oil paints and brushes And you'll be getting tips from someone that's been doing this close to 40 years, someone that studied at the Art Student League, someone that knows what they're talking about. And maybe I can help you guys you can get better quicker and become a good artist. Something that we all want to do, and it takes practice. And if you think you're gonna get into art, and if you just want to get into it as a hobby, that's okay. But it's something you have to dedicate time, hours, many hours, spend hours practicing drawing, carry a sketchbook with you all the time, and it's something that you have to dedicate yourself to. So for now, I'd like to say bye, and lots of love and lots of respect, and take care. Bye bye.